I'm gonna do the BTS video now. So I watched the iHeartBTS, iHeartRadio, presented by Hot Topic live stream last night. It was a 30-minute interview where some guy was interviewing BTS. And in between some of his questions, he would play BTS songs. And it is the first time I have ever seen a United States interview with them, like a sit-down interview. I've seen like little red carpet ones where they would just talk to them for like 2 seconds. This is the first time I've ever watched a full one. And it was the most awkward thing I've ever seen. And I noticed that after I watched it, I went on Twitter and I noticed that all of the fans and the actual company that they did the interview with, they only picked out snippets of that interview to put on Twitter and not the whole thing. But sitting through the whole thing was so goddamn uncomfortable. I've only seen their Korean interviews and their Korean interactions with like variety shows and stuff like that. And it's always seemed fun and light because obviously they were in their element, they're in their hometown, they're speaking their language. But to have to sit there and be forced to speak a language and listen to a language that you don't understand is completely insane and ridiculous. That they actually had to sit there and pretend like they knew English. We know they don't know English. It's like me going to an interview and no one's there to translate anything to me, like in Russia or something, and everyone's speaking Russian to me and expecting me to speak Russian. I don't know English. Why are you telling me to speak English? And then you have their leader, Namjoon, who I thought was supposed to be translating for them, is like, speak English. He's like telling them to speak English. And I'm just like, why are you doing that? If you've been following Parasite, the whole Parasite movement campaign till the Oscars, like the road to the Oscars, every time you see them at the Golden Globes, at the SAGs, they have their translator with them. They have their interpreter with them to translate English to us, to translate Korean to them. Which makes sense because, yeah, they may know some English words, but they're not fluent English speakers. So that makes sense to have a translator. BTS, why when they do that, when they have their American press runs, why don't they have a translator with them? Why doesn't Big Hit, their company, have a translator go with them to do that? Oh, I know why. Because their fucking leader speaks English. Yes, he doesn't speak perfect English, but he speaks English. Why would we hire a translator when there's a physical translator in the group? But then he doesn't translate. It's like, what are you doing? He'll translate Korean to them sometimes, but he won't translate when they speak Korean to English, which is like, why aren't you doing that? Like, the dude asked Sugar a question and Sugar responded in Korean, as he should, because you translated the English question to Korean for him to answer it. So why wouldn't you translate his Korean answer to English? Instead, you asked him to translate it to English, to speak English, and the entire 30 minutes I'm watching it. V is not talking. Sugar's not really talking. Jungkook, period, doesn't talk. The whole thing, he doesn't talk. He's the smartest one. He's like, I'm not going to talk because I can't speak English, so I'm not even going to bother. And V and Sugar tried to do that too. Until like Namjoon and the other guy like was trying to like force them to talk, and it's like, why are you trying to you're not gonna translate, so why are you trying to force me to speak English? You trying to force me to speak a language I don't know? I'm watching this shit, I'm just like, this is so fucking awkward. Like, I feel so bad for them. Like, why are you making them do this? At the same time, you have J-Hope, who is my fucking favorite member of BTS. I fucking love J-Hope. He's my bias. I love everything about him. He's perfect. He's just so great. He starts speaking the best he can in English, and he sounds so great, and he gets up every now and then and starts dancing, and he just saved that whole interview for me, because the rest of them, I just felt so bad for them. The only time JK participated was when he got up to dance to Chicken Noodle Soup, and other than that, JK was not interacting, and I really don't blame him. It's like, I'm the matinee, I don't know this language, I'm gonna sit back, I'm a cool. V did the same thing. I'm gonna sit back, I'm gonna be cool. The only thing he said was Ariana. That's the only thing he said. It was just really awkward to watch. What else happened? I liked how J-Hope said that the reason he did a cover for Chicken Noodle Soup was because the first dance class he went to, that was the dance that they did. So now I don't feel a type of way about him redoing that. Now I know that he did it was because it was a part of his childhood and what his first dance experience was. And as he said, it was similar to Becky G, who I don't really care for, but I get it now why they did that. I needed that. I didn't know that. So that was the biggest takeaway from that. It was just J-Hope and his awesomeness, and just the awkwardness of them sitting through that. It was just so awkward. And then you have their fans in the audience just like making so much noise at nothing. What are you making noise at? They're not doing anything. I went on Twitter and they made a big deal out of nothing. It was like nothing really happened in this interview. And then I'm watching it and Namjoon mentioned that he likes the movie Home Alone, which like everybody in the world does. And the dude interviewing them made them redo the poster. Like it's like they're fucking children. And I'm like, you know these are grown-ass men you're asking to do this? This is insane. And you know what else I don't like? Whenever they do any American interviews, they're always asking them who they want to collaborate with and what music they're listening to right now. It's like, you don't ask anybody else that. Are you doing that to try to figure out a way how to connect with them, how to relate to them, how to make them relatable? Why do American interviewers keep trying to make BTS relatable by asking them who they listen to? You know what they like based on what you listen. If you listen to their music, you know what they like. They like hip hop and R&B. Obviously, they make hip hop and R&B. Their music sounds like hip hop and R&B. That's why I'm such a fan of them, because they sound like hip hop and R&B. They sound like the music that I grew up with. Why do you keep acting like you have to force us to like them based on them liking someone else? Like, you want them to say that they want to collaborate with Drake and they want to collaborate with Ariana and they want to meet Usher. Why do you keep asking them the same shit? They're gonna keep saying the same thing. They like Post Malone. They like whoever's hot right now. Like, they don't need to collaborate with anybody. They keep asking them who they want to collaborate with as if they need to broaden their fucking popularity, as if they're not already fucking famous as hell. Like, they did that without collaborating with anybody. Why are you forcing it? And then you bring them on stage, and like I said, I haven't seen their performance yet on the Grammys. You bring them on stage and you don't even have them perform their own shit. They're performing with somebody else. You don't have them being BTS. And you know what else I don't like? That Make It Right song is fine. Boy With Love is fine. But their like biggest songs in America aren't even their best fucking songs. Like, their biggest songs aren't their best songs. Here in the US, it's the poppy generic songs that like Fifth Harmony, that sound like Fifth Harmony songs. Like, Make It Right is such an American ass teenager song that you would hear in fucking like Riverdale. Like, that's not their dopest shit. Their dopest shit is not the most popular shit over here, and it's really annoying. It's really annoying where you try, whenever they come over here, they keep trying to make them non-Korean. Like, they're Korean. Let them be Korean. Stop trying to make them be American. Stop trying to make them speak English and make them be American. They're not American. And it pisses me off. It really annoys me. It's like, why do I have to be like you? I don't want to be like you. And why is my biggest songs the songs that sound like American pop songs, where they're mostly speaking English? The Macarena was a huge song. Despacito was a huge song in America, and they weren't in English. Gangnam Style was a huge song, and it's not in fucking English. Why are you doing this to BTS? You making them like, no, you're trying to make them the Beatles. They're not the fucking Beatles. They don't have to speak English. Like, they just won't let BTS be themselves. Like, you've seen, I know everybody watching this, I know you're an army. You've seen BTS in Korean interviews, in Korean variety shows. When they're in their element, their personality is vibrant. They're very active. And then you watch this iHeartBTS bullshit, and they're sitting there, and they're just not being themselves. Like, JK and Jin, like, they were just not being themselves at all. Jin tried to, when he was like, he wants to collaborate with Brad Pitt, and he said the album was worldwide album. Like, he was trying to be himself, but he was only saying the most amount of English words he knew. Like, it was just like, I don't understand why they can't just be Korean and be translated. Like, you're suffocating them. And it was so fucking uncomfortable to sit through a half-hour interview of just all of that. It was just really awkward, and I hated it. I hate it. I hate when Americans do that to foreigners. Like, stop trying to make them American. Trying to make them relate. Why do they have to relate to us? I relate to them more when they're being themselves. When they were fucking trying to speak English is awkward. It's awkward. I hate it, and that's all I wanted to say. I hated it. Stop doing that. They're not gonna talk to us if you keep making them do that. Namjoon too. He should be speaking Korean also. Or fucking have another translator with them. Like what the Parasite crew has. Just have them have a translator. You suffocate their personalities when you just have them sit there and they don't know what the hell is going on because it's not being translated. And they also brought in some other white dude to come on stage. Some dude named Love or Lau. I don't fucking know. But I was like, why the fuck do I care about this dude? Why is he here? And they kept showing shots of the audience. Like, this is what I came to see. I came to see shots of the audience. I don't care about them. I want to see BTS. You keep the camera on BTS. But I digress. That's what I thought about that interview. It was the first time I ever saw an American interview with them where it's like a long one. The ones that I've only seen like 2-minute ones of them. This is the first time I seen a 30-minute one, and it was so uncomfortable. I just keep saying that, and I'm gonna finish with that. Just don't do it again. Don't do it to my BTS. They deserve better. Make it right.